What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
Things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Pardon me. Hang on, I'm plugging my watch in real quick. I don't even have the headset down over my eyes at this moment. Changing that now. My computer went bye-bye. Anyway, hope everybody is doing well tonight. I don't have any tabs open. My hands are doing all kinds of wacky stuff. I don't have any tabs open or anything like that. Figure I'm gonna make it an easy news night. Man, I still haven't gotten the one task that I've had all week on the list to get done. So I'm gonna make a point of it tomorrow. But I actually spent a little extra leisure time today. Went flying for a little while with Patrick. Didn't get a chance to fly as long as I wanted to. I had to get supper started and all that good stuff. But actually got in DCS, Digital Combat Simulator, I guess is what it means. And learned a little bit more on the Skyhawk, the AE4 Skyhawk. I can now take off and land from carriers with it, and I have learned how to arm the gun pods, how to put on the gun pods and how to use them. And possibly tomorrow I might learn how to start shooting some missiles or dropping some bombs. So anyway, just kind of cool. Just something, again, I'm actually looking for a distraction of the sort. I definitely could use one. So anyway, I couldn't resist the title of tonight's show. And by the way, I see that we've got our lovely pictures up again. That's awesome. I am loving that more than what you could ever imagine. Howdy, Fire Marshal Bill. So the reason for the title of the show, again, I don't have anything in particular to talk about, but I was tuning in to I'll say a live stream right before I came to the show. And my question is do you folks know what a really piss poor used car salesman sounds like? Have you ever dealt with one? Have you ever dealt with high pressure salesmen? Well, there are certain techniques that are used by both, by the way, in order to entice sales. One of the largest things you can do to entice sales is make it sound like what you got, you can't keep in stock because everybody's wanting it. Or for whatever reason, it's a limited supply. That's as old as the hills. The old limited supply order now gag. Well, and I don't give a damn if people figure out who I'm talking about. There's not too many damn YouTuber ministries on YouTube. And this one takes the cake. And it's getting worse and worse. And I don't know if anybody else is picking up on the used car salesman high pressure sales tactics that's going on. But, we're raising funds for this. We're going to be a Superman, right? So we're raising funds. And now that this goalpost was reached, oh, well, now we've got another goalpost and this person's going to do this. It's right out of the high pressure sales textbook. I mean, if he wasn't so textbook about it, I wouldn't catch on to it. But he is literally almost going line for line out of the book. He's not the only one that can read extremely fast. He's not the only one that has spent a life going, what the fuck? Why was I made like this? However, he is the one that's extremely out of line. And I'll call it out. Why? Because I've been there. I've done that. I wished I would have had somebody warn me. Dude. The level of heartache that I've dealt with in the past 10 years, not having a single thing to do with my children, I think that I've learned something enough about the subject to speak on it. And I'm not calling him out because I give two shits what happens to him, because I don't. I don't. Why would I? But it's for all of the people that's going to fall for the bullshit that's following him. That is what bothers me. There are certain things that you just don't do. You don't mix God and money, period. End of discussion. Ever, never, not at a collection plate, never, ever, no. You do not mix God and money at all. Not even sticking a hand out asking for tithes, because that is not what a tithe is anyway. A tithe is your time. A tithe is your involvement. A tithe is you, not currency. But those that want to profit off of religion don't want you to know that. It's a shame. It's a shame. It really, truly is. And I have a feeling it'd get outed in due time. But there are a lot of people that, I don't know. Yeah, well, Fire Marshal Bill, you make a very, very good point there. Not just in general, but especially so with me. Because, yeah, I could have probably had 24 people telling me, and I chances are pretty good I probably wouldn't have listened. And why? Because, well, I was the shit, right? I mean, I had the money coming in. I didn't ever have to worry about that. I had my preps going on. I didn't have to worry about that. You know, as far as my income, it didn't look like it was going to be threatened in the least bit. I mean, as far as I thought, I was set. And my feeling was, if I'm doing so much wrong, then how come God's letting it happen? Well, see, apparently my dad taught me something he must have learned from God, and that was you give somebody enough rope and they hang themselves. Yeah, that includes us as well. And God will give you all the rope you want. He will give you all the rope you want. That's why it's about self-discipline and self-control. And that's what I keep trying to explain to people. If you're using a Bible in a manner in which you're trying to control other people, you're using it wrong. You are being a Pharisee. If you use the Bible to understand how you are supposed to conduct yourself, now you're on the right track. The Bible isn't there to beat others over the head with it and tell them they have to live this way or they have to live that way. The Bible is what it is. It's the written word. Either people want to follow it or they don't. There's no in between. And at the same time, the Bible's there, it's written word, it's word that does not change. Hallelujah. At the same time, it takes a lot of discernment, because if you go in and you just start picking a verse here or a verse there, you can make the Bible sound like it says anything. And you can get people to fall for some of the silliest bullshit by just using bits and pieces of scripture. Okay, the same cat that I was referring to often likes to say, he who can be trusted with little can be trusted with much. Okay, and the Bible was more referring to faith more than money. But you could draw a big box around it and say, oh, well, okay, it includes this or it includes that. So we'll give it that. How true is that? My question would be, do any of you know anybody in your lifetime that has been able to work or do whatever, not just work, but whatever, and they were fine with small stuff, with being trusted with small amounts of responsibility, but then turn around later and once the stakes were a little bit higher, maybe I'll dip a little, or I'll try this, or I'll try that. How common is that? Pretty frickin' common, right? Right. So, how much good does it do to walk around saying he who could be trusted with little can be trusted with much? You are literally using God's name in vain at that point in time because you were trying to make his word represent something that it was not intended to represent. And even worse than that, to bring yourself personal gain. That's messed up. That's messed up. Again, the book's not intended to be used to beat people on the head with. It is intended to be used to know how to conduct yourself. So it's important to know those things so you know how to conduct yourself. What are the yeses? What are the nos? That's important stuff. And what's even more important is not clouding the waters, not leading people into a wrong path because you're out for personal gain. It's crazy. It's crazy. It was brought up again tonight about him being ordained. Look, man doesn't ordain you. Man, in a manly sense and an earthly sense, can ordain you. Yes, absolutely. I was ordained by man. But do you want to know the difference? I wasn't in any way whatsoever looking for it or asking for it. I was a cozy atheist when it hit me. It was the last damn thing that I was expecting or wanting, to be quite honest. But as a result of that evening, I had an awakening like you could never imagine. Exactly, brother, exactly. I had actually ran into a picture the other night when I was looking gosh, I don't remember where though. And I told Jen that it was actually the picture of from the basement that I was in, that my computer stuff was in. It was pretty crazy. Let's see, hang on, I'm looking at folders. Um, aha. No. Hang on 1 second. I'm looking for a particular folder and I'll know when I find it. Oh wait. Could actually even be in here. Pretty sure it was in a folder though. There's a picture of my first water filter that I made. Or not a picture, I'm sorry, a video of my first water filter that I made. Yup, yup. Hang on. I think I know. I don't think it's in here. No. Do have pictures of Eric though. Yeah. I had more pictures than I thought. I'm gonna set that right there because I do want to show you that. I have mentioned him before. And I'm just looking for a picture real quick. It won't take me but a second because I know I'm in the right area. I'm telling you, when it comes to files, I am like a hoarder. Okay, it's gonna be on this drive right here. Right? Oh no, wrong drive. It's gonna be on this drive right here. That's it. Okay. Yep. Save flash drive. Not that one. Aha. Aha. I'm to the right place. Just gotta find the right folder. At least I thought. Okay, well maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was gonna be in one of those. But it wasn't. Dang it. Sorry guys. I was really wanting to show that to you though. It's a picture from freaking so long ago, it's unreal. When I ran into it, I'm like, no way. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know I had a picture down there. No idea. Mm. Let's see. Wallpapers. Hang on. I'm looking. If I don't find it, and if it's not in here, I'm gonna give up. And I don't think it's gonna be in here. Nope, it's not. Anyway, we'll show you this other one. Absolutely. Bring it over here and get the camera switched. So I talked about a friend of mine that I had before that he passed away when he was 21 years old. Um, I think this man he certainly played a much more important role in my life than what I knew then. He he was the only person that I really had a deep trust for. And it was the oddest thing. We were two totally different people. I was the kind of wild, crazy, long haired, earring in my ear, concert t shirt, and ripped up blue jeans kind of guy. And he was the opposite. Um, Church was everything to him, God was everything to him. And I don't even remember how we made friends. I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. But I thought the world of him then, and I will always think the world of him. So he'd never told any of his friends that he had a heart condition. So we had no idea. And I had just seen him like a week prior. And I said, hey, how's it going? And a little bit of small talk. And he's like, get a hold of me. He's like, let's have some coffee. I'd like to catch up. I'm like, yeah, it sounds good. Well, you always got time, right? Well, I didn't get a hold of him. And, about a week and a half or so later, I got word that he passed away. He was at college. He was going to seminary school. He was at college, and one day he wasn't feeling well, and apparently he looked even worse than he felt because everybody apparently was telling him to go home. And so he finally decided to go ahead and go on home, and he was, I guess, walking to his car or whatnot, and just collapsed and died. And the crazy thing about it, and I will swear to anything on this, the crazy thing about it was he was always on me the entire time I knew him. He kept telling me, it's like, Mike, you got an incredible talent. And he's talking about guitar, talking about playing guitar. And he's like, you have an incredible talent. You need to be using that talent for God. And I'd laugh at him. Not that I was trying to be mean to him or anything like that, but I'd laugh at him because it was just like, are you freaking kidding me? And the day he died, it was an very, very strange series of events. I had to do some work on my car. I worked night shift, slept during the day. My mom and dad was going somewhere. I was still at mom and dad. Mom and dad was going somewhere. And I told them, when you get back, wake me up because I got to do whatever it was to my car before I can go to work. And they said, okay. So sure enough, they got home, woke me up. I got up, went right out to my car, started to work on my car. And within a matter of minutes, my mom was running out the garage door screaming, your bedroom's on fire, your bedroom's on fire. So I ran inside. By the time I got inside, my dad already had it out. He already had gotten a bucket of water and had water on it and had it out. It was just kind of smoking and smoldering a little bit. Now, I can give you the scientific explanation for what happened that night or that afternoon. The cord for the space heater shorted out, caused a fire. Simple enough, reason. But here's the interesting thing. There was only one thing that was destroyed in that fire. Right? I mean, of course, the carpet, there was a burn spot on the carpet. Of course, that's a given. But there was only one thing other than the carpet in the entire room that got burned, and it didn't just get burned. It was crisp. It was done. I mean, it was like you took a torch to it. That object was my guitar. Now, the interesting part of all of this is that incident happened at the same time Eric died. And so I have long felt, and still do, that was him telling me one more time. One more time. Of course, I didn't listen. I didn't listen because I'm me. But so Figured I'd share. That's Eric and his sisters with him there. So that's Eric. He was a very, very, very good man. Is that I'm not quite sure who that is there, but yeah, that's him and his sister there. He was a good kid, you know, the best kid you could ask for. There's him right there in the rear left. I actually know quite a few of those people in that picture there. Went to school with them. So there's Eric at graduation with his younger sister, and him with his sister there. So he's a good man. He was a very, 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 very good man. He was very straight. He was very, you know, Eric wasn't one to do wrong. That's for sure. But that's him. Anyway, I showed you that picture. But he was instrumental, I think, that when God came calling, I didn't just completely shove it away. And the only reason that that's the case is because of Eric. There are some discussions that Eric and I had, and I had made a comment that I probably trusted Eric more than anybody. Not probably, I did. And there were some discussions that him and I had, and he had confided in me a couple of things that, well, let's just say many might think is kind of surreal. And I cannot tell you the amount of times throughout my life, including till now, that I've replayed those things in my mind that he has talked about. Because I didn't get it then. But I knew if it was something he was telling me, that there's no doubt it was absolutely true. And it didn't make sense at the time, and for the majority of my life didn't make any sense. Now I completely understand it. It's it's crazy, but folks, I just get frustrated at the crap that's going on, the trickery that's going on. We got issues in front of us, and we damn straight better get a handle on them. We ain't got a lot of time to do it. I don't even know if we've got a way to do it. I don't even know where to begin. We have an insanely out of control government that's ran by even more insane international cabal, if you will. And they've got a lot of power. They've got a lot of people. They've got a lot of weapons. They've got a lot of control. I don't know, folks. I've said it for many years. Whenever it is that we decide that we want to do something about all the craziness going on, the longer we wait, the worse off it's going to be for us. And I've been saying this for 2 decades now. I started seeing different stuff go into place a very long time ago and knew what they were steps towards. How long ago was the Real ID Act finally put in place? Been a long time. Been quite a while. And they haven't had all the states compliant for that long. I mean, I don't know, a couple of years maybe, 2, 3 years maybe. That's it. That Real ID thing was started and it was, it's been tried a number of times literally throughout the decades, throughout the 20th century or whatever, the 1900s. They had tried the Real ID Act under so many names, the National ID Act, and I can't tell you any others that it was by memory, but there were several names that they kept trying to get it passed under. And people were wise to it, and no, we don't want nothing to do with that. And I don't know what it was in particular about the time when they called it the Real ID Act that it missed people's radars, but they got it slipped in then. Who knows? It could have been an NDAA thing, but they got it slipped in. And I had said from the get-go, it's not a national ID, it's an international ID. And people were acting like I was the craziest fool on the planet for thinking such things. Well. Guess what it is that we're starting to find out now? Right now, finally. Yep, that is going to be an international ID. You know how I knew? It's pretty simple math, really. Because in order to fly internationally, you were going to have your real ID to fly internationally. That makes it a national form of identification, or not an international form of identification at that moment in time. So they said it right from the beginning, but you had to know what they were saying to catch it. Let's see, you saw an ad for an AI boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah, that's crazy. I have seen a bunch of ads for, I don't know, companions so much, but like a AI assistant type of stuff, or I have seen ads for stuff like that. I have no interest in any of that. It's holy hell to get me interested in about anything that I don't know. That's why I'm trying to dive into this DCS thing. Hopefully, it can keep enough of my interest to give me something else that I can try to force myself to spend some damn time off and just relaxing. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff to think about, man. A lot. Um, a lot. There is possibility that there may be major changes with even this show. I don't know yet. I've got a lot of thinking. I know one thing's for certain. One way or another, I have to be able to find a way to relax and get that recharge time, if you will. Um, and I've been burning the candle at so many damn ends for so damn long, and I am just wore out. And at this point in time, I am having a hell of a time remaining detached from certain parts of my life, and it's making it increasingly hard for just about anything. But the holidays this year has hit me in a way like I have never been hit before. And you want to talk about getting the air knocked out of you. And I don't know why, where it came from, why it is that this year it's starting. It's not that I never thought about my kids. It's not that, it didn't bother me not being around them for, holidays and stuff like that. Or it does. It's always bothered me immensely. But I've always been able to stay on top of it. And this year has been a doozy. This year's been a doozy. But I don't know. I'm going to be in lots of prayer with the Father. And for those that don't mind, I would ask for some prayers, for some clarity, for some guidance, for some direction. There are some tasks that He has set out for me, and I'm like right there at the goalpost, you know what I mean? But I can't figure it out. I guess I'm not understanding the game or something, right? Because I'm trying to throw the ball in the basket, but I'm not getting any points for it. If that makes any sense. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff on my plate, and I don't know completely what his intent for me was here on YouTube and doing the news. And I honestly don't know if I've fulfilled that or not. I have no idea. But I'm going to be in a lot of prayer as to whether or not he wants me to continue. I will say that. Because personally, I want to be done. But it's up to him. It's not up to me. So I'm going to be in a lot of prayer about it. A lot. When I know something, everybody else will know something. Anyway, I'm going to read through some headlines, and I'm going to boogie the hell out of here and relax for the rest of the, well, I say relax, my ass will be hitting the bed. I'll be trying to go to sleep for the next till about 1 in the morning. I love insomnia. Coffee. Right now, what I need is a drink of coffee. All right. Oh. And let me look. Make sure. Oops. It's weird when looking through multiple screens. I gotta make sure this changes and that changes, and unfortunately, there's not a more streamlined way of doing this as of yet. All right, let's run through these. I'll share the one that came in last night after the show. Now, Irish Lives Matter graffiti investigated as a hate crime, says police. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss that one this evening, because I sat there and I think, holy cow, that escalated quickly. When is it hate speech to say that Irish lives matter? Man. Now, I can only speak for the United States of America. Why? Because that's where the hell I am, and that's where I was born, and that's where I be. But, see, in the United States of America, it wasn't supposed to be about the color of law. See, now that is the color of law. The United States was supposed to be about the intent of the law. See, the law in the United States was never meant to be used like it's being used today, right? Today, people use it as a loophole to get out of things, or they use it as a weapon to be able to go after other people. But in so many cases today, the laws aren't being used in a manner in which what they were intended, right? Because if you make a law that states it's illegal to do something, it doesn't make it okay for people to figure out ways just to subvert that law and do the same damn thing anyway. And then you and all your buddies, and when I'm talking about you and all your buddies, I'm not talking about none of you. I'm talking about the politicians. I'm talking about the lawmakers, okay? They sit up there and they see all this happening. And, not only are they allowing for these loopholes to continue, but in some cases, they get benefits from it. And, all of our lives continue to get driven further and further into the ground while they're making all their deals and making out like a bandit when it comes to the payment money from their buddies. That's the kind of unfortunate system that that we're dealing with. And when you start charging people with the color of law, in other words, you start using that law as a weapon against uh, people you disagree with, or however the case may be, that is really when you lose all credibility in my mind. And the United States has been doing that nonsense for a long time. Let's see. Henry Kissinger died at 100. Convicted U.S. spy attacked in Russian prison, says media. UK accuses Greece of grandstanding for demanding artifacts. EU reselling Russian gas, says Financial Times. Russian government borrowing surges, says RIA. French Jews hiding their names, says Le Figaro. And I'm sure I probably said it wrong anyway. Refusing to talk with Russia is dangerous, says an EU state. World laughing at Germany's leaders, says Putin. Israel and Hamas agree to prolong ceasefire. Germany warns against fatal Ukraine fatigue. UK banking giant axing staff before Christmas, says Union. Israel and U.S. moot Gaza exit for Hamas fighters, says Wall Street Journal. Another EU member to boycott OSCE meeting over Russian presence. Irish government asked social media to censor posts during Dublin riots. See, now everywhere has the First Amendment, and their governments can do that stuff. Here, they're not supposed to do that stuff, but as we are finding out, more and more, they are anyway. Ukraine won't accept a NATO compromise deal, says foreign minister. German president ignored on arrival in Middle East. Russia bans LGBT movement. OSCE is on the brink of abyss, says Lavrov. Putin remembers outstanding Kissinger. Ukraine is not fighting for Europe, says EU state. Moscow blasts EU member for dangerous stupidity. Russian unemployment hits historic lows, says data. Another UK city effectively declares bankruptcy. Humanity experiencing climate collapse, says United Nations. Politico acknowledges RT's online clout. Influential Russian oil boss takes aim at finance ministry. Israeli spies exposed in Iran, says Palestinian militant official. Ukraine may never join NATO, says Zelensky. X ordered to turn over info on users who interacted with Trump. Retired Israeli top official weighs in on Gaza future. Wall Street leaders oppose both Biden and Trump, says Bloomberg. Let's see. Milei picks ex-JP Morgan trader to dollarize Argentina's economy, and I'm probably saying that name wrong. Church applauds LGBT ban. North Korea rules out talks with double-faced U.S. London Council scraps plans for Hanukkah menorah over possible vandalism. EU states new PM meets Russian ambassador. A European Council chief pitches EU cyber force. U.S. closes secret tavern at key military base, says media. Well, if it was secret, how did they know to close it? Ex-Soviet state orders closure of all brothels. So, get them closed. Hamas gunmen kill 3 Israelis at Jerusalem bus stop. U.S. lectures Israel over Gaza war, says leaks. Top U.S. general warns lawmakers on funding crisis. Israel recalls ambassador from EU country. U.S. state takes Pfizer to court over COVID-19 shot. And U.S. lawmaker saves colleague from choking. It was actually Rand Paul, and I can't remember the name of the person that they saved. I can't remember. Who was it? Senator Joni Ernst performed the Heimlich maneuver and saved their lives. So, good job, Rand. Let's see. British NGO blast Russia's LGBT ban. That just came out. I'm getting that shared out. And that would be that. So I myself am ready to get out and relax. To be honest, go to bed. So I am going to do that. I disconnected it and now I can't see nothing. But so I am going to do that. God willing, we'll be back Sunday night and we'll do it again. So I am out of here. I hope you all have a good weekend. God willing, I'll see you Sunday. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.